The strange sounds in the night, every night after the sun set and the twin moons of planet Lura rose high in the sky. Something strange happened in the small city of Juneau. The city was usually quiet at night, but for the last month, loud and heartbreaking cries echoed across the metal mountains on the city's edge. The sound was so sad, so full of pain, that people hid in their homes and covered their ears with their pillows. They were afraid, but no one knew what to do. People called it the crying ghost of Lura. Some said it was a lost spirit, looking for its family. Some said it was a terrible beast, waiting to attack anyone who came too close. But no one really knew the truth. No one was brave enough to find out. In the middle of all this fear, a new visitor arrived in Juneau. His name was Tom, a human mechanic from Earth. He was tall, with rough hands and kind eyes. Tom came to Lura to fix machines and help the city build new things. He did not believe in ghosts or scary stories. All he believed in was hard work and solving problems. On his first night in Juneau, Tom stayed in a small, cold room above his workshop. He was tired from his long journey, but just as he started to fall asleep, the crying began. It was louder than he expected. It sounded like a baby, but much deeper and full of pain. The sound made the glass windows shake and his heart beat faster. Tom sat up, confused. He asked himself, what kind of creature can cry like that? He tried to sleep, but the crying would not stop. In the morning, he asked the woman who ran the bakery next door. Her face turned pale. She whispered, "We don't talk about it, human. It is bad luck. Don't listen to those cries. Never go near the metal mountains at night." Tom was curious. He liked solving puzzles. All day, as he fixed broken robots and cleaned dirty engine parts, he thought about the sound. Why would something cry every night? Was it really a ghost? Or was it just a scared animal, alone in the cold? That night, Tom made up his mind. He packed his toolkit, grabbed a strong flashlight, and put on his old, brown jacket. Before leaving, he checked the sky. The moons were bright, but the shadows around the metal mountains were darker than ever. The path to the mountains was covered with metal scrap, broken machines, and twisted pipes. It was like walking through the skeleton of an old dead city. Tom moved carefully, his boots crunching on rusty wires and empty cans. The crying grew louder as he got closer, echoing through the cold air. Tom felt a chill run down his spine. But he kept going. Suddenly, Tom saw something move in the shadows. He stopped and held his breath. His flashlight shook in his hand, but he kept it pointed ahead. A small animal darted past his feet, just a rat. Tom let out a sigh of relief. But the crying did not stop. Finally, after climbing over a tall pile of metal, Tom found a dark cave hidden between two broken towers. The cries were coming from inside. He stepped forward, his heart pounding. The inside of the cave was warm, filled with the smell of old oil and something sweet, like flowers. Tom listened. The sound was so close now, so real, that he wanted to cry too. He walked deeper into the cave, careful not to slip on the smooth metal floor. At the back, he saw something big, curled up and shaking. He raised his flashlight, and what he saw made him freeze. It was a dragon. But not like any dragon from Earth stories. This dragon's skin was smooth and silver, shining in the flashlight. Its wings were folded tight against its body, covered in scars and oil stains. Its eyes were huge and glowing, but full of tears. The dragon looked tired, weak, and lonely. It did not roar or try to scare Tom away. Instead, it just cried loud, painful cries that sounded like a baby lost in the night. For a moment, Tom forgot his fear. He saw the dragon as a creature in pain, not a monster. He knelt down, careful not to make any sudden moves. The dragon watched him, but kept crying. Tom felt sorry for it. He whispered, "Hey, it's okay. I'm here to help." The dragon's cries slowed, but did not stop. Tom knew there was a mystery here, something nobody else wanted to discover. He promised himself he would find out why the dragon cried every night, and if he could, he would help. The night outside was still cold and dark, but inside the cave, Tom felt a new kind of hope growing. The truth was hidden here, waiting to be found. The human mechanics promised Tom did not run away from the dragon. He did not scream. Instead, he sat quietly near the entrance of the cave and watched the silver dragon cry. The dragon's eyes were big and bright, but full of sadness. Its tears fell to the metal floor and made small puddles. Tom could see the dragon was weak. Its wings were covered in scars, and oil dripped from a wound on its side. Tom's mind worked fast. He thought, this dragon is not dangerous. It is hurt and alone. Tom was a mechanic, not a doctor, but he knew how to fix broken things. Maybe, just maybe, he could help the dragon. Slowly, Tom opened his toolkit and took out a soft cloth and a bottle of water. He showed his empty hands to the dragon and spoke in a soft, calm voice. "It's okay. I will not hurt you. I want to help." The dragon looked at him, blinking away more tears. For a moment, the cave was silent, except for the soft sound of water dripping and the dragon's heavy breathing. Tom crawled closer, step by step, never making sudden moves. He wiped away some oil from the dragon's scales. The dragon did not attack him. It only watched, its body still shaking. Tom saw that the wound was deep, but not fresh. It was old, infected, and smelled bad. No one had cared for the dragon in a long time. As Tom worked, he noticed something strange. Around the dragon's neck was a thick metal collar, full of blinking red lights. It was too tight and left marks on the dragon's skin. Tom asked softly, "Where did you get this collar?" Of course, the dragon could not answer in words, but it lowered its head, showing the collar clearly. Tom's heart ached for the lonely creature. Tom stayed with the dragon all night. He cleaned the wound as best as he could. He told stories about Earth and how he used to fix old cars for children back home. He talked about the stars and the funny shapes clouds made on his planet. The dragon listened. Its cries grew softer until finally, the dragon fell asleep with its head resting near Tom's feet. Tom did not sleep much. He thought about the collar and the pain in the dragon's eyes. Who had put the collar on? Why did the city say it was a ghost or a monster, when really it was just sad and in pain? At sunrise, Tom packed his tools and whispered to the sleeping dragon, "I'll be back." He walked back to the city, tired but full of new energy. The morning air was cold, and a few people stared at him as he entered the bakery. The woman behind the counter asked, "Did you hear the crying last night?" Tom nodded and answered, "Yes, but I think it's not a ghost. I think it's just a creature that needs help." The woman's face turned serious. She leaned closer and whispered, "Don't get involved, human. There are secrets in those mountains. The city council does not want anyone to know." Tom understood the warning, but he was stubborn. He ate a quick breakfast, bought some bread, and spent the day searching for answers. He visited the old library and read about the history of Lura. He learned that, many years ago, people had tried to catch dragons and use them to power their machines. The dragons were strong, but the humans were greedy. Most dragons disappeared or died. Only a few were ever seen after that. That night, Tom returned to the cave with fresh bandages, food, and his mind full of questions. The dragon was waiting for him. It had not eaten in days. Tom placed the bread near the dragon's mouth. At first, the dragon sniffed it, unsure, but then ate quickly, crumbs falling down its chin. Tom smiled. "Good, you're hungry. That's a good sign." He showed the dragon the new bandages and began to clean the wound again. As he worked, Tom spoke softly. "I'm going to help you, but I need to know more. Who did this to you? Why do you cry every night?" The dragon closed its eyes. It let out a long, soft breath. Tom noticed a small symbol etched on the collar, a logo he had seen in the city, on old machines in the scrapyard. Tom's heart skipped a beat. Someone in Juneau knew about this dragon. Maybe they wanted the dragon to stay hidden, to suffer. Tom made a promise right there, under the cold metal roof of the cave. He would find the truth. He would free the dragon from pain, no matter what the city said or what dangers waited for. Hindot, as the stars filled the night sky outside, the dragon and the human rested together. For the first time in many nights, the cave was quiet. But outside, in the shadows, someone watched Tom, someone who did not want the secret to be discovered. Eyes in the shadows. The next morning, Tom woke up in his workshop with a heavy mind. He could not forget the silver dragon's eyes or the tight metal collar with its red lights. He wondered about the symbol on the collar. He remembered seeing it at the city's scrapyard, a place full of broken machines and forgotten secrets. Tom wanted to help the dragon, but now he realized he was not alone. The warning from the bakery woman echoed in his head. There are secrets in those mountains. The city council does not want anyone to know. Before leaving, Tom packed extra tools, some strong pliers, and a small computer tablet. He wore his thickest jacket and hid a loaf of bread inside. As he stepped outside, he felt someone watching him. Tom glanced over his shoulder but saw only empty streets and flickering streetlights. Still, he walked quickly to the scrapyard. The scrapyard was a maze of twisted metal, crashed ships, and dusty parts. The air smelled of old oil and rust. Tom showed the symbol on his tablet to an old alien working by the entrance. The alien squinted and shook his head. "You do not want to ask about that, human," he warned, voice low. "Bad things happened with those machines." Tom thanked him and walked deeper inside. He searched until he found a huge broken transport drone with the same symbol on its side, a circle with 3 jagged lines through it, just like the dragon's collar. He took photos with his tablet and checked the serial numbers. The drone's records were wiped, but Tom saw marks where something had been cut away, like someone tried to erase the past. Suddenly, Tom heard footsteps crunching on the gravel behind him. He spun around. 2 men from the city council stood there, both tall, both wearing dark uniforms. One spoke, his voice cold. "What are you doing here, mechanic?" Tom hid his nervousness. "Just looking for old parts," he replied. "My machines need repairs." The other man stepped closer. "Stay away from the metal mountains, human. There are dangerous things out there. This is your only warning." Tom nodded, acting polite, but inside his heart beat fast. He waited until the men left, then hurried out of the scrapyard, holding his tablet tight. That night, as the twin moons rose, Tom returned to the cave. He took a longer, hidden path, moving quietly. He brought fresh food and some water for the dragon. When he arrived, the dragon was waiting. Its eyes were tired, but when it saw Tom, it managed a weak smile. Tom placed the bread on the ground. The dragon ate slowly this time, still hurting, but less afraid. Tom showed the dragon his tablet with the photos of the symbol. "Is this who hurt you?" he asked gently. The dragon nodded, tears returning to its eyes. It raised its long neck and pointed with its snout to the collar. The red lights blinked faster, as if the collar sensed Tom's curiosity. Tom spoke softly. "I think the people from the city made this collar. They are hiding something, and they want you to stay here, trapped and alone." The dragon let out a low, sad sound, almost like a sigh. Tom sat beside the dragon and started to study the collar more closely. He tried using his pliers, but the metal was too strong. He tapped on the lights, but they just blinked faster. He opened his computer tablet, hoping to find a way to hack into the collar. But the technology was old and full of alien writing he could not read. Suddenly, the dragon let out a warning growl. Tom froze. In the darkness at the cave's entrance, he saw a shadow move. Someone was there, Watching, Tom hid behind the dragon's large body, careful not to make a sound. The dragon crouched low, ready to protect Tom. The shadow grew closer, footsteps echoing in the cave. A tall figure stepped into the light. It was the old alien from the scrapyard. He looked at Tom and then at the dragon. He spoke quietly. "I knew you would come here, human. You want to help, but you are in danger." Tom did not trust him yet, but he asked, "Why does the dragon wear this collar?" "Who did this?" The old alien sighed, eyes sad. "Long ago, the city council tried to use dragons as living machines. They made collars to control their minds. Many dragons died. Only one survived, but it lost its freedom." He glanced at the dragon. "They lied to everyone, called it a monster. Now they want the secret to stay hidden." Tom felt anger rising inside him. He turned to the dragon. "I promise, I will get this collar off you. You don't have to suffer anymore." The old alien nodded. "I can help, but we must move quickly. The council will send more men tonight. If they find you, they will destroy you and the dragon." Outside, thunder rumbled. Tom looked at the dragon, then at the old alien. He nodded. "Let's do it. Tonight we fight for the truth." Deep inside the cave, the dragon's eyes shone with new hope. For the first time, its cries turned into a soft, grateful hum. But in the city above, dark plans were already in motion. Escape from the cave night fell fast over planet Lura, and the winds howled across the sharp metal mountains. Inside the hidden cave, Tom, the old alien, and the silver dragon hurried to prepare for escape. Tom's hands shook as he packed his tools and tied extra bread in a small bag. The old alien, whose name was Sira, worked quietly, checking the path outside with his sharp eyes and long ears. The dragon watched them both, hope shining softly in its tired eyes. Tom looked at Sira. "How do we remove the collar?" he asked. In a whisper, Sira replied, "The collar is old technology, but the city council still controls it. If we break it wrong, it will shock the dragon. If we try to run, the council can track us." Sira opened his own toolkit and showed Tom a special device. "This is a signal jammer. It can block the collar's signal for a short time, just enough for us to get away." The dragon let out a small, hopeful sound. Tom touched its warm scales and promised, "We won't leave you behind. Tonight you will be free." As Sira adjusted the jammer, Tom studied the cave's entrance. The storm outside was growing. Lightning flashed, making the metal rocks shine like polished glass. Tom felt a shiver of fear, but also determination. He would not let the city council win. Suddenly, Sira tensed. He heard voices in the distance, harsh, angry voices growing louder. "They're coming," Sira whispered. "We must go now." Tom hurried to the dragon's side. He showed the collar to Sira, who placed the jammer against its surface. Red lights on the collar turned yellow, then faded. The dragon whimpered as the collar buzzed, but then went quiet. "It's safe," Sira said quickly. "But only for a few minutes." Tom grabbed his bag. Sira led the way, moving fast and low, his feet making no sound on the metal ground. Tom helped the dragon to its feet. The dragon limped, wings dragging behind, but it was strong enough to walk. Together, they left the cave, moving into the storm. Rain poured down, mixing with oil and dust. The metal mountains were slippery, and the night was full of danger. Tom kept one hand on the dragon, the other gripping his bag. Sira pointed ahead. "We go to the scrapyard. There, we can hide in the oldest tunnels. The council will not look there." Behind them, flashlights danced in the darkness. The city council's men were searching, calling out orders. Tom's heart raced. The dragon stumbled, but Tom pulled it forward. "Don't stop," he urged softly. "We're almost free." Lightning cracked above, showing the path ahead. Tom saw the scrapyard in the distance, piles of broken machines shining wet under the rain. Sira ran ahead and signaled them to follow. "Quick, this way." They reached the scrapyard just as the jammer's light blinked red. The collar on the dragon's neck buzzed again, but the signal was weak here. Sira opened a heavy metal door hidden behind an old ship. Inside, he shouted. They hurried into the darkness. The tunnel was cramped and smelled of rust. Tom squeezed in, holding the dragon's head low. Inside, Sira slammed the door shut and twisted a large bolt. The sound of rain faded, replaced by the quiet hum of old machines. Tom looked at the dragon. "Are you okay?" The dragon nodded weakly, then lay down to rest. Tom wiped rain from his face and listened for sounds of pursuit. For now, they were safe. Sira turned on a small light. He showed Tom a map scratched into the dirt. "The council will look everywhere, but they won't search these old tunnels. They're afraid of the old robots that sleep here." Sira's eyes glowed with a strange light. "We can use these tunnels to reach the old power station. There, we can find tools to break the collar forever." Tom nodded. He felt hope rising. Again, he knelt beside the dragon and spoke softly. "You're strong. Soon, the pain will end. I promise." The dragon looked at Tom, then at Sira. It let out a soft rumble, almost like a thank you. Tom realized he was no longer just a mechanic. He was now a friend and a protector. Outside, the city council's men searched the mountains, shouting orders and shining their lights into every shadow. But they did not find Tom or the dragon. The storm grew wilder, washing away their tracks. Inside the tunnel, Tom ate a piece of bread and shared the rest with the dragon. Sira stood guard, listening for any sign of danger. "Tomorrow," he said, "we go to the power station. Be ready." Tom closed his eyes and tried to sleep, but his mind was busy with worry and hope. He knew their journey was just beginning. Somewhere in the darkness, answers waited for them, answers that would free the dragon and reveal the truth about Lura's deepest secret. The old power station, the night in the tunnel felt long and cold. Tom could hear the dragon's slow breathing as it slept, curled up against a pile of old metal pipes. Sira did not sleep at all. He paced back and forth, always listening, always watching the small vent at the top of the tunnel. Sometimes Tom thought he could hear voices and footsteps outside, but it was only the wind and the far-off storm. When morning came, the tunnel filled with a soft blue light from Sira's lantern. Tom sat up and rubbed his eyes. He was tired but full of purpose. Today was the day he would free the dragon, no matter what. Sira handed Tom a piece of bread. "Eat quickly. We must leave before the city council searches this area." The dragon woke slowly. Its eyes looked brighter than before. It stretched its neck and wings as much as it could in the tight space. Tom smiled and spoke gently. "Are you ready?" The dragon gave a soft, hopeful nod. Sira led them through a maze of tunnels. They passed old, silent robots covered in dust and walls covered in faded warnings. The dragon moved carefully, afraid of making too much noise. At last, Sira pointed to a rusted metal door. "We are here," he said. "The old power station." Tom pushed open the door. The station was huge and empty, full of silent machines and broken screens. Tall glass windows let in weak sunlight. Everything smelled of old electricity and burnt wires. Tom stared in wonder. "This place looks like it hasn't worked in years," he said. Sira nodded. "It is forgotten now. But it still has tools and power. Enough for what we need." Tom moved quickly. He found a heavy metal table and spread out his tools. Sira showed him a special cutter, a laser blade, powered by an old battery. "This can cut the collar," Sira explained. "But you must be careful. If you hit the wrong wire, the collar will shock the dragon." Tom took a deep breath. He looked into the dragon's eyes and saw trust. "I will be careful," he promised. The dragon lay still on the table, turning its neck to show the collar. Tom cleaned the area and prepared the laser blade. He remembered all the years fixing engines, opening locked doors, and repairing circuits back on Earth. But this was different. This was about saving a life. Sira stood beside Tom and helped hold the dragon's head steady. Tom turned on the laser blade. It hummed quietly. He focused on the smallest wire near the collar's lock. His hands did not shake, even as his heart beat faster and faster. Suddenly, the collar's lights turned bright red. A sharp alarm echoed through the power station. Tom froze. Sira's eyes went wide with fear. "The council is coming. They know we're here." Sira shouted. Tom worked faster. He used the laser to cut one wire, then another. Sparks flew. The dragon whimpered in pain, but did not move. Tom felt sweat on his forehead. The alarm grew louder. The sound of boots echoed in the hallways outside. Sira ran to the window and saw black uniformed men running toward the station. He yelled, "Hurry, Tom. They're almost here." Tom whispered, "Just a little more." He cut the last wire, and the collar fell open with a loud click. The lights faded out. Tom dropped the laser blade and grabbed the collar, tossing it across the room. The dragon lay very still. For a moment, Tom thought he had failed. Then the dragon blinked and let out a long, relieved sigh. Its body relaxed, and the deep pain in its eyes slowly faded. Tom hugged the dragon's neck. "You're free. You're finally free." The dragon made a deep, grateful sound that echoed through the old station. But there was no time to celebrate. Sira ran back from the window. "We must go. They will destroy us all if they find us." Tom looked around. There was only one way out the back door, half blocked by heavy machines. He and Sira pushed with all their strength while the dragon used its body to shove the machines aside. Behind them, they could hear the council's men breaking down the front door. The back door finally opened. Sunlight blinded them for a moment as they burst outside. The dragon, weak but free, spread its wings. For the first time in years, it tried to fly. It flapped hard and lifted off the ground, just a little, but it was enough to move quickly away from the station. Tom and Sira ran after the dragon, their hearts pounding. Behind them, angry voices and gunshots echoed through the metal ruins. But the council's men were too late. Tom, Sira, and the dragon disappeared into the wild mountains beyond the city. They kept running until the city was far behind and the sun was high in the sky. They stopped at the top of a tall hill, breathing hard. Tom looked at the dragon and smiled. "You're safe now. No one can hurt you again." The dragon, finally free from pain, let out a joyful roar that filled the sky above planet Lura. But as the sound echoed across the mountains, Tom knew their adventure was not over yet. The truth revealed Tom, Sira, and the freed dragon rested in a green valley hidden far from the city. The dragon slept for hours, finally peaceful, its chest rising and falling with soft, gentle breaths. Sira patched a small cut on his arm while Tom kept watch, his mind full of questions. As the sun set, Tom stared at the dragon's smooth, silver scales. He remembered the stories he'd heard about Lura, stories of greedy humans who wanted to use dragons for power. Now seeing the dragon calm and safe, Tom knew those stories had been twisted and full of lies. After a while, the dragon woke and lifted its head. Its eyes were brighter, filled with hope for the first time. Tom sat down beside it. "We did it. You're free," he said, his voice soft. The dragon nodded and opened its mouth. To Tom's shock, the dragon spoke in a slow, deep voice, words shaped by years of silence. "Thank you, human. I waited for someone to help me. I cried every night so the world would not forget me." Tom's eyes widened in wonder. You can talk?" The dragon smiled, a sad but gentle smile. "All dragons can speak. But with the collar, I could only cry. The pain was too much." Sira listened carefully. "Why did the council do this to you? Why did they hide you away?" he asked. The dragon's eyes turned sad again. "Long ago, the council wanted the power of dragons. They made collars to control our minds. They used us to run their machines and protect their secrets. But dragons are not machines. We are living beings. When we refused, they locked us away. I am the last one." Tom felt anger in his heart. "They made everyone think you were a monster. They made you suffer just to keep their secrets." He looked at Sira, who nodded with a heavy heart. "We cannot let them keep doing this," Tom said. "People must know the truth. The city should see what really happened." Sira agreed. "But the council is powerful. They control the news, the guards, everything." Tom stood up, his jaw set with determination. "Then we show them something they cannot hide. We show the world a free dragon." He looked at the dragon, who nodded. "I want to help. I want to fly over the city and let everyone see I am not a monster." Tom smiled. "You're not alone anymore. We'll stand with you." The plan was simple, but risky. They would wait until the festival in the city center, a time when everyone would be outside, looking up at the sky for the traditional fireworks. Sira remembered there was a hidden tunnel that led close to the city square. They could use it to sneak close without being seen. That night, Tom and Sira prepared. They made a strong harness for the dragon in case it grew tired. Sira gave Tom an old communicator, an old radio device the council used to use. "If anything happens, call for help," he said. Before sunrise, they moved quietly through the mountains, following Sira's memory of the old tunnel. The dragon walked close to Tom, careful not to be seen. The tunnel was dark and cold, but together, they pushed forward. At last, they reached the end of the tunnel. Tom peered out and saw the city waking up for the festival. Banners flew, music played, and people gathered in the square. Tom's heart pounded. "It's time," he whispered. The dragon took a deep breath. For the first time in years, it spread its wings fully. Sunlight gleamed off its silver scales. Sira checked the sky and nodded. "Now," he said. The dragon stepped out into the open, Tom and Sira at its side. At first, no one noticed. But as the dragon walked forward, children shouted and pointed. The crowd fell silent as everyone stared at the shining dragon. Alive and free, the city council guards rushed forward, but Tom lifted his hands and called out, "Stop! Look at the truth. This dragon is not a monster. The council lied to you. For years." The dragon raised its head and spoke in its deep, powerful voice. "I was never your enemy. I was your prisoner. I only wanted to be free." People in the crowd began to whisper. Some started to cry, some cheered. The guards looked uncertain. The city council members tried to give orders, but no one listened. Sira stepped forward and told the crowd the truth about the collars, the pain, and the council's lies. The story spread fast. People took pictures and videos, sharing everything on the network. The dragon opened its wings and lifted Tom onto its back. With a mighty leap, it soared over the city, shining in the morning light. The crowd gasped in wonder. Tom smiled down, hope in his heart. The truth could not be hidden anymore. The city of Juneau was changed forever, but as they landed outside the city, Tom knew there was one thing left to do: make sure the dragon was safe for good. A new beginning. The morning after the dragon's flight over the city, everything felt different. The news spread like fire. Pictures and videos of the silver dragon and the human mechanic were everywhere. No one in Juneau could pretend the dragon was just a story or a monster anymore. The people saw the truth with their own eyes, and the lies of the city council began to break apart. Tom, Sira, and the dragon waited on a quiet hill just outside the city. The dragon rested peacefully for the first time in years. Tom sat in grass, his hands stained with oil and dirt, but he felt light as air. Sira watched the city with sharp eyes, always alert. They knew the council might try something desperate. Soon, a group of townspeople appeared on the road below. They walked slowly, waving white cloths to show they meant no harm. Tom stood up, helping Sira to his feet. The dragon lifted its head. Watching carefully, an older woman stepped forward, her voice shaking with emotion. "Is it true?" "The council kept you prisoner, and you never hurt anyone?" she asked, looking at the dragon. The dragon nodded. Its voice was gentle but strong. "Yes, I was hurt and alone. I only wanted someone to help me." Tom and Sira saved May. The people began to cry. Some hugged Tom, others touched the dragon's smooth scales, amazed at its beauty and kindness. Children laughed and tried to feed the dragon bits of bread and fruit. The dragon accepted the treats with a happy rumble. One by one, more people arrived. Soon, a crowd filled the hillside. Tom spoke to them all, telling the true story of the collars, the pain, and how Sira risked everything to help. But even as hope grew, the city council tried to hold on to their power. A black car stopped at the bottom of the hill, and the council leaders stepped out, guarded by soldiers. They tried to shout over the crowd, saying the dragon was dangerous, that Tom and Sira were criminals. But this time, the people did not listen. They stood together, blocking the path, shouting, "No more lies! Set them free! The dragon is our friend!" The soldiers lowered their weapons, looking ashamed. The council leaders realized they had lost. One by one, they left the hill, their power gone. Sira turned to Tom, a rare smile on his old face. "You did it, human. You changed everything." Tom shook his head. "We did it together. You, me, and the dragon." That night, a celebration filled the valley. Lanterns lit up the sky, and music played until dawn. The dragon curled up beside the campfire, finally feeling like it belonged. But Tom had one last promise to keep. He wanted the dragon to be truly free, not just from the collar, but from fear. So he asked, "What do you want now? Where will you go?" The dragon thought for a moment. "I want to fly. I want to find others like me. Maybe, far away, there are dragons who survived. I want to see the world, to live in peace. But I will always remember this place and my friends." Tom nodded, his heart full of pride and sadness. "If you ever need me, just come back. This is your home, too." Sira reached out and placed a gentle hand on the dragon's side. "Go. And remember, you are not alone anymore." The next morning, as the sun rose, the whole city came out to see the dragon's farewell. Tom and Sira stood at the front of the crowd. The dragon opened its wings wide, strong and shining now, free from pain. It looked down at Tom. "Thank you for seeing me as more than a monster." Tom smiled, wiping a tear from his cheek. "Thank you for teaching me to believe in hope." With a powerful leap, the dragon soared into the sky, its wings catching the golden sunlight. The people cheered, waving and laughing. For the first time in living memory, the city felt truly united, not by fear, but by hope. The city council was gone, their secrets revealed. The people of Juneau started to rebuild, promising never to let fear or lies control them again. Sira became an advisor to the city, helping them build a better future. Tom was a hero, but he kept working in his small shop, fixing machines and helping anyone who needed it. At night, when the wind blew over the hills, sometimes the people heard a soft, happy sound, a dragon song, echoing in the stars above. It was a sound of freedom, and everyone in Juneau knew its meaning. Because of a human's kindness, an old alien's wisdom, and a dragon's hope, a whole world changed forever. And somewhere, in a far-off sky, the dragon flew on, never afraid. Always free, and always remembering the friends who gave it a new beginning.